You can read English. You can understand English. You can watch a video like this one and follow most of it. But then someone speaks to you, and suddenly the words don't come. You know what you want to say. Maybe you even know the words you need. But getting the sentence out feels much harder than understanding it. So why does this happen? And what can you do to make speaking feel easier? You may already know a lot of the English you need, but understanding English and being able to use it comfortably when you speak aren't always the same thing. Think about what happens when you read. You have time. You can stop. You can go back. You can read the sentence again. When you listen, you're trying to understand what another person is saying. But when you speak, you have to do something different. You have to find the words, put your idea into a sentence, and actually say it out loud while the conversation is happening. And if you haven't practiced doing that enough, speaking can feel much harder than understanding. That's why you can sometimes know the answer, but still hesitate when it's your turn to speak. Imagine someone who studied English at school for 10 years. They learned grammar, they studied vocabulary, they completed exercises, took exams, and maybe even got very good marks. Then one day a visitor stops them on the street and asks for directions, and they freeze. They know the words. They know turn left. They know go straight. They know next to the bank. But knowing those words doesn't always mean they're comfortable using them in a real conversation. They may have spent years learning English, but much less time actually speaking it out loud. And that's an important difference. Now think about children learning to speak their first language. They spend a lot of time listening to the people around them. They hear the same words and simple phrases again and again. And little by little they start trying to say them too. At first, it isn't perfect. They copy sounds, repeat words, try short sentences, and use the same language many times. They don't wait until they can speak perfectly before they start. Speaking is part of how they learn to speak. Of course, learning another language as an adult is different, but there's still something useful we can take from that. Listening is important, but using your own voice is important too. It's a little like swimming. You can read a book about swimming. You can watch videos about swimming. You can learn how to move your arms, how to move your legs, and how to breathe. All of that can help. But at some point, you have to get into the water. Because you get better at swimming by swimming. And if you want to become more comfortable speaking English, speaking has to be part of your practice too. So, let's actually try it. Right now. Just one simple sentence. Listen first. Could you say that again? Now say it out loud with me. Could you say that again? Good. One more time. A little more smoothly. Could you say that again? Nice. Now think about what just happened. You probably understood that sentence before we practiced it. The meaning wasn't new. But now you've done something different. You've actually said it. Your mouth made the sounds. You practiced the rhythm. You practiced moving naturally from one word to the next. And you heard your own voice speaking English. The sentence already feels a little more familiar to say. And that's the kind of practice that can be missing when we spend most of our time reading, listening, or studying. Here at English Rhythm Lab, that's why we usually practice useful sentences several times. The first time, just focus on saying the sentence. The second time, listen more closely to the pronunciation and the rhythm. And the third time, try to say it a little more smoothly and with a little more confidence. You don't need to sound perfect. And you don't need to speak fast. The goal is to make useful English feel more comfortable to say. Because when you need one of those sentences in a real conversation, it isn't the first time your mouth has tried to say it. You've already practiced it. So if you understand English, but speaking still feels difficult, keep learning vocabulary, keep reading, keep listening. Those things matter. But don't practice English only with your eyes and ears. Use your voice too. Say useful sentences out loud. Copy the pronunciation, feel the rhythm, repeat them. And give yourself time to become comfortable actually speaking the English you already know. You don't need perfect English before you start speaking. Speaking itself is part of the learning. And if you'd like more practice like this, English Rhythm Lab is built around helping you actually use your English. You'll find many speaking and shadowing lessons here, with useful sentences for everyday conversations, work, travel, shopping, appointments, and many other real-life situations. You can choose a lesson that matches what you need, listen carefully, and then practice saying the English out loud with me. And we're continuing to add new lessons for different levels, from simple speaking practice for beginners to more challenging practice as your English grows. So if your goal is not only to understand English, but to feel more comfortable actually speaking it, follow English Rhythm Lab and keep practicing with me. Don't wait until you feel completely ready to speak. Use the English you know, give your voice regular practice, and let speaking become a normal part of the way you learn. Thanks for spending this time with me. Keep listening, keep practicing, and most importantly, keep speaking. I'll see you in the next lesson.